fire crackled softly in the hearth, casting warm shadows across the living room as I leaned in, eager to listen. Grandpa leaned back in his chair, a knowing twinkle in his eye while Grandma stirred her tea with slow, thoughtful movements. The 1920s, Grandpa began. Now that was a time of change. Back then, towns were smaller, families were closer, and Sundays meant dressing in your best for church. Most folks lived on farms or in small towns, and evenings were spent on the front porch, listening to the hum of crickets and laughter drifting from neighbors' houses. People lived simply, but they lived well. Everyone had a role to play. If something broke, you fixed it. If you needed something, you traded. If you made a promise, you kept it. There weren't televisions or fancy radios in every house, but folks made do dances at the town halls, sing-alongs with family, and stories shared by firelight. Those were the real entertainment. Grandpa chuckled, shifting forward. You wouldn't believe the first car I owned, a Model T Ford, cost me more than I had, but I worked for every penny. He told me how his father had taught him to fix it. Back then, you couldn't just call someone when something broke, you had to figure it out yourself. He learned to repair the engine, patch the tires, and adjust the belts, passing those lessons down when his own son grew old enough to hold a wrench. Grandma smiled, setting her tea down. The kitchen was the heart of the home, she said. We didn't just cook, we talked, we laughed, we learned the way of family. Her mother and grandmother taught her the rhythm of preparing meals, kneading dough for fresh bread, churning butter, and stirring soups that filled the house with warmth. Grandma's hands knew the measure of flour and sugar without needing a recipe. She learned that food wasn't just about feeding people, it was about bringing them together. School was different than one-room schoolhouses, strict teachers, and lessons learned from books that had seen more hands than they could count. Marriage wasn't about grand weddings, it was about commitment. A promise made, a partnership formed, a life built together. Raising children meant teaching them to work hard, to respect their elders, to understand the value of honesty and grit. People shopped at general stores, picking up flour, sugar, and whatever else their farms couldn't provide. No supermarkets lined the streets. Only small shops where the owners knew every customer by name. Sundays were sacred, church in the morning, a home-cooked meal at midday, and family gathered until the sun set. It wasn't just about religion, it was about community. Free time was never wasted. Evenings meant playing cards, sitting on porch swings, sharing stories passed down from ancestors who had seen harder days. Young folks courted each other with stolen glance at barn dances. Friendships were solidified through shared struggles, and laughter was never absent. Grandpa sighed, looking down at his hands. Things changed, people got busier, cities got bigger, everything moved faster. Grandma nodded. We used to sit together, talk together, work together. Now people rush through life, but they didn't regret it. Their time had been honest, simple, full of meaning. And even though the world had changed, one thing hadn't: family, love, and the stories that carried them forward. I smiled, warmed by their memories, grateful that even as decades passed, the heart of life remained the same.